In this live show, I'm talking about Ten Hag, how highly he rates himself and what managers he puts himself amongst after his talk in his press conference yesterday. I almost got that one mixed up there. I'm talking about the 3 things that Ten Hag has to do right now to convince me, myself, and maybe some of you guys in the actual chat of being the man for Manchester United and taking us forward on the Ineos's vision indeed. Yes, that vision of winning the Premier League trophy in 4 years' time. What 3 things has Ten Hag got to do from this point right now? This is Forever United TV. I'm Adam. Welcome along to the live show, everybody. Morning of the match itself. Fenerbahce tonight. Crunch game against Jose Mourinho's side over in Istanbul that United have to win, in my opinion. We'll talk about that a little bit later on as well. But first of all, the 3 things that Ten Hag has to do to convince me and a lot of United fans that he is the man going forward. First of all, I want to talk about what Ten Hag said in his press conference yesterday. His time is now. If he is going to talk the way he's talking, he has to produce the goods right now. Ten Hag has to make it happen for Manchester United. He says in his press conference yesterday, myself and Jose Mourinho have won a lot of trophies over the last few years. He's putting himself up there with Jose Mourinho. Well, factually, Ten Hag is actually wrong. He has won trophies. Jose Mourinho hasn't. So, first of all, just to make sure that you're not thinking of going in on Ten Hag on this one, he has actually done better than Jose Mourinho over the past few years. But in terms of putting himself up there, in terms of putting him there with Jose Mourinho, I mean, seriously, don't talk in the same breath as Jose Mourinho, or don't put yourself in that same bracket, is what I would say. Jose Mourinho is a different calibre of manager altogether. He's been doing it longer, he's won more, he's won bigger trophies, and Ten Hag is just starting off. So, Ten Hag is ahead of him over recent years. He's right in that. But in saying that, him and Jose Mourinho, I think he was alluding to what Jose Mourinho has accomplished in his career. And he's nowhere near Jose Mourinho, so don't even go there, Eric. But he has done more over the last few years. And he is the new up-and-coming manager, whereas Jose Mourinho, I do believe he's on the decline. And on the decline big time, sadly. As it is a brilliant career, which is just going to be faded away into, let's just say, I don't know, a pot of mediocrity. Because it is. He's just a controversial character now, and he's nothing really there to convince anyone that he is the manager that we once knew. Jose, sadly, I think United will be putting in his place tonight. For him, that is. Good for us, because I do see United winning the game tonight. But Ten Hag himself, he keeps talking about these trophies. He keeps talking about what he has won. He has won nothing at Manchester United. To put yourself up there as one of the best managers, you need to win the obvious. So, I've made a list. I've got 3 key things that I feel that Ten Hag needs to win. He needs to, well, he doesn't need to win, or he needs to accomplish these 3 things to convince me from this point right now. So, heading into this game tonight, this is what Ten Hag needs to do to convince me that he is the manager to lead Manchester United forward. And it's in the long term, this. So, it's not like what he has to do tonight. It's what he has to do this season. So, if I'm going to say that Ten Hag is here for the rest of this season, this is what he has to do. He obviously has to win the Europa League. It is as simple as that. That is number 1. Ten Hag needs to get his hands on this trophy. It's the only way United are going to get into the Champions League. It's the only way it is going to fund Ineos's vision. It's going to keep the money flowing into the football club to provide Ten Hag with what he is going to need to move to the next step. But this season, Ten Hag has to take chances. He has to roll the dice, I feel. He is going to have to commit to the Europa League rather than the Premier League at this point. I feel like the Premier League has gone. The top 4 has gone at this point. I shouldn't be feeling that way. I don't want to accept it. But with the way things are going and the way that Ineos are sort of limping around right now in making a big decision, I'm just for the sake of this video going to say that Ten Hag is going to be here for longer than what I would like, because I'm still not convinced. So which is why I'm making this list of what will convince me. So if he is still around, then Ten Hag has to win the Europa League this season. He's going to have to commit to one or the other. Like I said the other day, it was a show what we did with Saeed, and we were talking about you cannot get top 4 and win the Europa League. It's one of the hardest things to do. From this point where United are right now, if they want to make top 4, I think they have to sacrifice certain games in the Europa League. You might be able to do that, don't get me wrong, at this stage, but with United having such a poor start, and this is why I wanted to make this list from this point right now, with United making such a poor start, I don't think we can afford to just basically crawl over the line in the Europa League and qualify. We can't. We're in trouble right now and we need a win. And that starts tonight. So, strong team, play tonight, commit to getting up there in this table, into the top 8 and get into the knockout phases, then I feel United will be the favourites for this competition. Like Jose himself said yesterday, I feel like United will be the favourites for it. So the number one thing, the top thing that United need to do, Ten Hag has to do, is win the Europa League this season. That is the ultimate. I actually do believe, while he's still in this competition, he will probably still keep his job anyway. As soon as he drops out of the Europa League, or it's mathematically impossible to get Champions League football, and this is if it doesn't go completely disastrous from this point and he loses game after game after game, and the decision might be taken out of our hands anyway, and Ineos will just pull the plug. I feel like Ten Hag will still be in a job while he's in the Europa League. You know what I feel about Ten Hag. You know that I don't think he's the right man, but I'm here to be convinced, like everybody. I'm here to hopefully see this team actually progress and play decent football and actually win things again. But Europa League has to be priority right now. And by the way, get your comments in as well and let me know what you feel. Do you feel like Manchester United have got a chance of winning the Europa League? And would you pick one or the other out of the Premier League or the Europa? I feel like the best chance is the Europa League. Keep them comments coming. And if you are live as well, get your comments in the live section as well, please, everybody. So that is number one. Win the Europa League this season. That has to be the target for Manchester United. Next season, United need to qualify comfortably for the top 4. And this is me lowering my standards if Ten Hag is going to stay. It really is. Like, I'm not expecting United to challenge for the Champions League. Challenge for the Premier League next season. I'm not that stupid. I thought this season we would have been comfortably challenging for top 4. Mistaken. We've got it all completely wrong. But from now, win the Europa League. Next season, number 2 on this list is Ten Hag has to win the Premier League. Has to be comfortably in the top 4 of the Premier League next season. How does he get there? He needs to have a decent transfer window. He needs to go out and buy the right players. He needs to go out and buy a 20, 30 goal a season striker. He needs to buy a left back. He needs to buy another centre-back because there's 3 leaving. There are 4 key positions that need strengthening in this next summer transfer window. And this is me looking way ahead past this season. Whether or not Manchester United find something from the youth or not, we don't know. We've talked about Cornet, we've talked about Collier coming in. Are they going to be good enough for Manchester United? Central midfield needs to be rectified again and strengthened. Obviously, we're losing Eriksen. We could possibly be losing Casemiro. You've got the left-back situation, which has needed rectifying for the last 3 years, and we haven't done. You need a striker who's going to score goals, which we don't have. And then, obviously, we are then in a position to possibly challenge for that top 4 next season in the Premier League. And I think that's realistic. It is realistic. So, when you're talking about Europa League, can we win it? Yes, we can. Can we qualify for the top 4 next season? Yes, we can. We do need to have a good transfer window to actually get there, like I said, because we are short at the moment. And there are plenty of clubs in between us and that top 4 that are doing better than us right now. You could easily say that. And then the 3rd season, I can't believe I'm saying the 3rd season with Ten Hag on this one, but the season after that top 4 finish, United need to win the Premier League. That's it. That's how Ten Hag survives and becomes that man that is going to bring that success to Manchester United and that vision that Ineos have got of winning the league in 2028. Yes, I'm fast forwarding 1 year. I think that Ten Hag, and the time that he has had at Manchester United, needs to be winning the Premier League in the not next season, the season after. If he is staying around, that is. Do I think that Ten Hag can get all of these 3 things and manage them? Do I think he can win the Europa League? Personally, I have no confidence in him winning the Europa League this season from what I've seen. And I'm only judging this on what I've seen so far and the inconsistencies with this team and the performance and some of the decisions that Ten Hag has made. No, I can't see him doing that. Can I see him making top 4 next season? Well, if he doesn't make the Europa League this season or win it, then he's not going to be in a job to make top 4 next season. And then win the league in 3 years? You're going to need a miracle. That's the only way that Ten Hag convinces me that he is the right man for Manchester United. It starts from now. It starts from winning the Europa League. Hopefully we can get back into the top half of the table. And the fact that I'm having to accept that is ridiculous anyway on its own. That United's improvement in the league is actually just getting back into the top half of the Premier League table. Yes, winning trophies is fantastic. It really is. And if we are going to go down that road and accept, and Manchester United fans who are backing Ten Hag, if you want to accept that you are not going to finish in the top 6 again and win a trophy, and that's okay for you, then we'll go along with this road. And we'll go down this line if Ten Hag is to stay at Manchester United. Do we have to accept that we are going to be a top half of the mid-table team and just win the Europa League. Because it's a lot. There's a lot riding on this competition for Ten Hag, because if he is going to go full bore and try and win it like I says he has to, the league is going to be sacrificed. It really is. And should United realistically be throwing away the Premier League at this point? I've said all of these three things. I've made this list just off the back of what I've seen so far this season. Forget what's gone before, just how we're attacking this season, how far we are off actually even competing in the Premier League right now. The Europa League is our best bet. And some would say that that is a massive push because of the way we've also started that competition this season. But look, you guys get into the chat and let me know what you think about this. I don't see Manchester United accomplishing any of this personally. I cannot. It is just a dream, to be honest, for Ten Hag, this. But we're all here to be proved wrong, and we're all here to be convinced by a insanely underperforming Manchester United side. And that's players, managers, coaches, everyone is failing at Manchester United right now in that first team. So let's see some change. Let's see some magic again. Magic, God. It's going to take something miraculous and something magic to turn this Man United side around, isn't it? But that's how I see it actually going down. There is a plan there. I can see a plan. I can see things that he can accomplish. And I don't think it's too far out of his way to actually get all of these things. I think that Ten Hag can actually do it. But I'm not convinced with the way that he's set out this season, the decisions he's making, the teams he's selecting, the way he's going about it, that he can. Look, we've seen that he can get into the top four. We've seen he can win domestic trophies. The next obvious advance on that is winning the Europa League or finishing in the top four. I think top four right now, going off how we're playing in the league, unless something drastic turns around, I cannot see that happening. He has to commit to Europa League football. He has to go full bore onto winning this Europa League. It's as simple as that for Ten Hag. It is massive for him right now. And it starts tonight. It starts by beating Jose's team and putting him back in his place. And United moving on from there. I'm going to come into the chat, see what you guys are all saying right now. We have a couple of super chats in there as well. I'm going to come to them in a minute. Andrew says, Mourinho won the League Cup and the UEFA Cup. I would say that is a better than Ten Hag has won. Also, second in the league was better as well. But Jose Mourinho has been asked loads of questions about whether United would be in a stronger place if he was still the manager. Obviously, he didn't answer that. He loves Manchester United. Jose Mourinho has always said the same thing about United and the fans. Like I said, a lot of United fans thought that Jose Mourinho was really harshly treated when he was the manager of the football club. He didn't get given the time. He didn't get given anything anywhere near what the likes of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Erik Ten Hag has got or been given in terms of help from the football club, I feel. But look, Jose is gone. Jose is done. We don't even want to be talking about. The only reason we're talking about Jose is because he's managing Fenerbahce. That's it. Jose has fallen off, and I think his career is definitely, like I said at the top of the show, on the decline. And there's no way back for him. I don't think he'll ever get a big job again in football. I think he's just at that level now, Jose, unfortunately. And it's a shame because he was the best. He was the best. But I don't know whether it's antics on in his character and things like that have just failed him. Eventually, it's all caught up with him and he is where he is. And I think he belongs at this sort of level. So let's just put this to bed. Let's finish Jose tonight and let's move forward because United have to win this Europa League. It's as simple as that. Jim says, morning all. I hope you all well, happy. Hope you're all well and happy. Hope to see the match tonight, but my 60th birthday today. I'm going away for a few days with the family. Jim, happy birthday, mate. Have a great birthday. Don't worry about United. We'll take care of all that for you. Hopefully they can bring the result home for you as well on your birthday. Gene says our players will absolutely crumble under the pressure tonight. They don't have the mentality to perform under hostile environments like it's going to be. Trust me, they will fold like a wet paper. So Ginge really isn't that confident, you would say. There are a few United fans saying the same. 66% of you in the poll are saying that we can get the win tonight. It's a simple, will United get that victory that we need? Yes or no in the poll. And 66% of you said that United will. So hopefully you're right. Winning the Europa League is a stretch. We can't even beat an average Premier League team. It's a wild dream. We're better trying for top four. I think top four is completely out when you look at the competition in front of us, mate. Honestly, Europa League, I feel, is the best bet for Ten Hag. I do. I said at the start of the season, United should still make top 4. I think if another manager comes in, and I'll stand by this, another manager comes in, I think he will get more out of these players, and United can challenge for the top 4. But while Ten Hag is manager, United will not make top 4. Simple as that for me. I'm just not convinced whatsoever. And the start of the season, going off the back of last season, nothing's changed. And I was hoping that I would have seen something. But no, obviously prove me wrong. Go on a run of 9 or 8 games, 8 or 9 games and win them in a row and get into the top 4, because that's what it's going to take with no one else winning. Then we might actually get there. But no, I just don't see it. I don't see it. And I say 8 or 9 games because the teams that are in front of us, we're actually playing a couple of them in them games. And that's what you have to do, beat the teams in front of you. So it's not just like I'm bringing up or imagining a certain amount of games that United need to win. That's what it's going to take. United going on a long run. That's the only way that we get into the top 4. And can you see that happening? I really can't. I just think there are better teams than United right now in the Premier League. Or better run teams anyway. On paper, United should be competing and should be right up there, but we're not. And that's the disaster what is Ten Hag at the moment in this Manchester United season. Turn it around? Let's see. Adam, you're dreaming. Wake up. United are pants. Thanks, David. You don't need to tell me, I know. Thanks for the comment, buddy. Adam, left back key, but our midfield is still the worst in the Premier League. We need 3 top-class midfielders to come in. Who would you take out of United's side then if we need 3 top-class midfielders? You're taking Mainu out, you're taking Agate out. We spent a lot of time chasing Manuel Agate this summer, and Mainu is supposedly the future of the football club. Are they coming out? This is what you've got to look at as well. Is it the worst in the Premier League, or are they just not being utilised right? John D says, top 4 has gone. We have to concentrate on the Europa League. Unless there is a massive turnaround, we won't achieve last season's 8th place. Ooh. Where is Collier? Collier is injured, I'm afraid. That is another one on the list. It's not mind-boggling. We are out of the top 4 race. We can't win 3 games in a row. We are so inconsistent. It's impossible to get top 4 under this manager. Jordi says, winning the Europa League and FA Cup this year, I think, is what we have to aim for. And don't be embarrassed. In the league. I forget the FA Cup. I really don't care about the FA Cup. I've been there, done that. If we get it, it's a bonus. But don't be going out of your way to win that cup again and put a whole season based on winning that. That is not good enough. It's not. Here's a question right now for everyone. Everyone who is a sort of, I'm not going to say Ten Hag, it's the wrong way to put it. Or you're convinced that Ten Hag is the right man and he can turn this around. If you are that person, you're in the chat right now, please do get into the comment section. If Manchester United finished the season as we did last season, is that good enough for you? Please answer that question in the chat right now. You got Rolls with a super chat. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that, buddy. If he pulls off the miracle of winning the Europa League, does he stay? I don't want any of this finish 8th or worse, win the Carabao Cup and keep your job nonsense. I think you just went right into what I just said then, actually. He does keep his job if he wins the Europa League because he gets United into the Champions League. I think that is what it's all about. He has to qualify for the Champions League. I said the only way that Ten Hag gets sacked is if he continues the atrocious form that we seen a few weeks ago. Look, he's had 3 games unbeaten. Not very convincing. No, obviously, draw against Porto, scraper draw against Aston Villa, then beat a poor Brentford side. Yep, if that form continues, you can just see him limping along and surviving for longer. It has to go down the road of the bad defeats, a few more defeats. If United come, let's just say, the end of November, and we're limping along, and we're still only at mid-table, Ineos may make a decision. They may come to that point and say, look, this is just too much. We cannot be seen to be languishing down in 10th. We've got no backup if we drop out of the Europa League, and we're just going to make the decision now. Maybe there's already a plan in place. Maybe there's a time of the season when they're just going to go, bang, that's our decision point, and we're going to get rid of him if results haven't got any better. We don't know at the moment. We don't know what they're doing in Ineos, so let's just see. We'll just have to wait around with it. A few more chats coming in. Totally agree, Jordi. We should have 6 points at this stage in Europa and be able to play kids and reserve tonight. Not acceptable, really. a lot of people, I think, would look at the Europa League and say we do need to be blooding some of the youngsters there because we're obviously comfortable enough in the league and we're challenging up there. Like, honestly, if we was top 6 right now, remember back last season when things weren't great, we were having crap results, and we were talking about United then when we were 6. Right now into this season, mid-table like we are, I'm not even insulting us or going as drastic as saying we are bottom half of the table, because we are. We're in 12th. Let's just say we're a mid-table team. Last season, we was moaning about the exact same things when United were around about 6 and a few points off Europa League and Champions League places, and we weren't happy then. So why has it changed now? Why should we be happy with what we're doing now? People saying it's just the start of the season. Look, by the end of this next group of games, by the end of this and going into the international break, the next international break, we'll be a quarter of the way through the season. Is that enough time to judge? Is that enough time to say, right, we're far enough into the season now to start making a decision? Or say that this is really underperforming? When do we call it? When do we actually say it? And when is it unacceptable? When does that word come out? But in what I'm saying this morning is Ten Hag has put himself up there in winning trophies. And why I wanted to ask the question to the chat is, if we had the same season again, is that okay? Because last season that was okay. So why would this season be the same? It's going exactly the same way. We're clinging on to a cup and we're not thinking about the league. It'd be interesting if we do win another domestic cup this season, what the fans would think at the end of that. If the same vote came out again and the same poll came out again, where would this Manchester United fan base be a season on, having accomplished the same thing as the season before? If you get what I mean. We should have got more. He should have got more support. A good manager is Jose. Yes, he is. We are United. We need to focus on all fronts. The Premier League is where it is at. We have to finish top 4. Europa League. We need to qualify for the knockout stages. We need to get the FA Cup final. Not bothered about the FA Cup final getting at all, really. I think United need to be concentrating on the Premier League and the Europa League. I said, I think at the start of the season, my prediction was, or my expectation level was top 4 and the Europa League. That's what I expected. I don't think Ten Hag has got the capabilities of doing it off what I've seen so far this season. Henry says, Adam Mourinho should never have been sacked. All the trouble with Pogba caused that, in my opinion. A lot of people would agree with you on that one, Henry. Let's just see. It depends on how many injured players you have. Last season, we had so many out that a title in itself is a miracle. Still not having that excuse. It wasn't as bad as what people are saying with the injuries. It really wasn't. First, again, I keep going back to it, and people who keep using the injury excuse all the time, like, seriously, go back to the first 26 games of last season in which we threw away the Carabao Cup, top 4, and the Champions League, and look at the players that were available in them games, and tell me that that wasn't a big part of why United failed last season. It was. It was a massive part of it. Marcus in the chat and says, I'm a so-called Erik Ten Hag input based on the players not showing enough heart and desire. If a team is giving everything and failing, then get rid of the manager. Until then, it's not just one thing, one person. The players are giving everything, Mark. I completely disagree with you on that one. The players are doing absolutely everything they can. You can see it in them as well. There's just no direction. So I disagree on that one. Pete, you're right, mate. I'll be listening on TIFO. Yeah, by the way, we have got the watch along on TIFO later on, everybody, so make sure that you tune in for that one, starting at 7:30. We have another show on YouTube as well before that, leading into it as well, so make sure you're also tuned in for that one later on, everybody. We're doing everything tonight, building up to the game, so make sure that you have subscribed to Forever United TV and obviously have that bell notification as well. Given the season, they can't get a good replacement during the season. An interim could be worse. An interim could be better. Obviously, it's the worst it's ever been right now, Shawboy. So I can't agree with that comment again on that side of it, simply because we're just hoping that he can do something different. Bigger decisions should have been made. Obviously, we're going back in time here a little bit, aren't we, and saying, look, things should have changed a long time ago. Well, things should have changed in the summer, sorry. They should have. They should have changed in the summer. But we're dealing with Ten Hag and we're trying to figure out how we get to the point where we can actually say that this is an alright season. And I think we're all debating amongst ourselves, and I can see it in the chat, like nobody can figure out from this point what a good season actually is. Not one person can agree with the next. Some saying we should be looking at top 4. Some saying we should be winning the Europa League. Some saying we are where we should be. Just accept it. No, I won't. I won't accept it. But yeah, just to clarify later on, we're on at 7:30 on Big Up. The link is in the description, everybody. We're going to be doing another show on YouTube here leading into that one, so make sure that you are tuned into that one. I'll give you all the information to come and join us for the call-in and watch along for the show and the game tonight against Fenerbahce, so make sure you tuned in there. Adam, I agree. However, it's what I expect from United on all fronts, but not with this manager in place. I expect to see him gone. He can't win 6 games in a row, so it's over for him. You got Ross also coming and back that one 7-0, and coming last in the Champions League group. Once that was accepted, that set the standard. Yeah, I suppose you've got to look at that and say that's where a lot of Manchester United fans are actually at right now. If this is where the club is saying we're okay with, then you have to go along with it. I've seen an absolutely ridiculous article on a Manchester United website, not the actual United website, but another one, talking about Ten Hag being forced into 4 changes tonight. Like, stop making excuses for him. He hasn't made the excuse. So why is everybody else making excuses for Ten Hag? Like he said, just deal with the injuries in his press conference yesterday. Fair enough, no problem with that. We get past it. And then people are coming out and saying that he's forced into 4 changes. He's forced, believe this, but get this, yeah? He's up against it tonight, Ten Hag, because he's having to replace Johnny Evans. Okay. He's having to bring Lisandro Martinez in at centre-back and put an actual full-back in full-back. Oh, it's tough, innit? It's really hard on him. He's got a tough job. My God, people are saying that we've got loads of injuries. They've added Collier to that injury list, by the way. Seriously, another one. And they're saying they're having to freshen things up, so he's going to be forced into dropping Garnacho and Marcus Rashford, and Ahmad and Xerxes are going to come in as well. The excuses that I'm hearing are ridiculous. And they're not even coming from Ten Hag. They're coming from fans. Seriously, get a grip. Stop making excuses for the man. He has not even said these things, Erik Ten Hag. He's not even used injuries as an excuse. But now people feel like they have to make an excuse for him. It's like, where have the standards gone within the fan base as well? Seriously. Even the man himself, who's full of excuses, is not bringing this up. But people are still trying to find a way to defend him because they see what's coming. They feel like the inevitable is coming, and that's what I'm trying to get to. Like, the mental mindset of these fans at the moment is that we are going to fail. When you talk like that, you're expecting failure because you're already making excuses before the disaster has happened. And fans don't realise that they are doing it. They don't understand how they're talking is setting the standard. There's just some of this fan base that won't accept it. I am one of them. There's a few of you in the chat right now that are saying exactly the same thing. We cannot go on continuously giving and making excuses for poor performances, especially not when Ten Hag, the manager himself, isn't doing it. I mean, seriously, if he was doing it, I would go in there, but I can't even have a go at Ten Hag for how he's approached this game tonight. He has gone in there and said exactly what he has to say. I don't agree with what he's saying in putting himself up there in terms of winning trophies alongside Jose Mourinho. Again, like, the trophy thing is a big bugbear of mine, but in terms of the team, in terms of tonight's game, Ten Hag hasn't done anything wrong. It's everybody making excuses for him already. Have we just fallen into this trap that we need to find a way out of a poor performance before it's even happened? Is that just go and watch the game and then talk about it afterwards? Stop talking about it now and making it seem like it is a incredibly difficult situation that we're having to deal with. We've got perfect amount of players there to go and deal with Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce side, and we should be going out tonight and absolutely killing Fenerbahce. They are not on United's level. If we fail, we fail. We'll all be moaning about it, but don't make excuses before the game. Absolutely pathetic. For God's sake, like, seriously, what have we come to as a United fan base when we're already looking to get out of jail and make these lame excuses for what's actually about to happen. Let them play first. They might actually perform tonight. They should do. Like, they're off the back of 3 unbeaten. If anything, we're probably the best position we've been all season in terms of going into a game, mindset-wise, players in form anyway. You look at that front three, all in form from weekend. Had a great second half. So, really, let's just play the game out. It's a joke, honestly. The amount of people that wind me up, some journalists as well, like, seriously, like, where is your standards gone? Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand how people can think that this is all right and acceptable. Like, let's play the game and then we'll dissect it. God's sake, it's like we're already expecting to lose. No. We're going to go out there tonight and we're going to beat Fenerbahce, for God's sake. That's what's going to happen. That's how it should be. We should be going out there and saying what United need to do and what United will do. If they don't do it, then we'll pick the pieces out of it. But God damn it. Like, some of the stuff that I was reading this morning, I was like, wow, really? Is that where we're actually at? What an absolute joke. United should have full points in the Europa League so far. Instead, they are sitting on 2 points. Facts. Facts indeed. Waking up to this, Adam, what's with the constant negativity? Get behind the goddamn team. Did I not just say that? For God's sake, what's wrong with people? Are you not listening? Please, come on. Seriously, I just said that. Stop moaning and bitching about what's going to happen. I just said we're going to get behind it. You know what? Do one if you think I'm being negative, honestly. I'm sick of it. I'm actually saying what United should be doing. Not using these lame excuses like everybody else. Get a grip, people. Seriously. Oh, we smashed them tonight. However, it will be a very difficult game. This is due to the manager and his team selection and style of play. No style, just moments. See. Oh my God, snowflakes. Let's give everyone a cuddle. No spine. Mate, honestly, I get it. Totally. I totally agree. Like, get a grip, people. For God's sake. Oh, man. Telling players to try harder when demoralised, overtrained, and thus fatigued and injured is lunacy. This was obvious from the first season under Ten Hag. But most want him gone ASAP. Results ultimately will be the deciding factor. Early doors, new players brought in for the man. Need to get behind the man. The team tonight should be strong enough. Look, if you get behind him, we're all getting behind the team tonight. Like, I didn't add one bad word to say about what's going on tonight. I've just said how many times United should be smashing Fenerbahce tonight. We are going to get behind them tonight. But if it goes wrong again, don't expect me to come out with any excuses for bleeding Ten Hag and this team. I'm going to be going in hellfire on this team if we don't get the win tonight. There's nothing that is going to convince me that United shouldn't be getting a win tonight. And I'm not having this bollocks and excuse that the media and some of the other fans coming out with right now before the game's even started. Shut your mouth. A little bit of a rant there. United should dominate from the start to finish. 70% possession, 4 goals, high shots on target. Should be used to that. That's the United standard. Yeah. Garnacho and Rashford will rip this defence apart, and Eriksen in front of Casemiro and Agate should work well. Oh, yeah, I like it. Need a win tonight, no excuses. Jordi, best comments, perfectly summed up there, buddy. That is exactly how United need to be going into this game. It is a very winnable game. And you know what? United need it after their poor performances. If anything, they should be fueled by the crap that they've put out there on the pitch so far this season in the Europa League. They should go out there and just go out, put it to bed, and everything just shuts down instantly. All the pressure, all the negativity, everything just shuts down completely. Because United have beat Fenerbahce tonight. It sets us up. It sets us up for the top 8 finish easily. Because the games we've got coming up after this, the last 5 games. I mean, seriously, if United don't win all 5 of them, I'll be absolutely amazed. They are poor opposition. I know we didn't beat FC 20. Let's maybe look at that at this moment and say that it was early doors and we were in the midst of a I don't know, another shit spell at United, or whatever excuse you want to make for that. But looking at it from this point forward, if that doesn't fuel you, drawing at home to FC Twente, if it doesn't fuel you, throwing away a 2-goal lead against FC Porto, being in winning positions and coming out with 2 points out of them 2 games, if that doesn't fuel you going into tonight to put Mourinho's side to bed, to put you in a stronger position going forward, to take all of the pressure off the manager, to take all the pressure off you, to give the fan base something to cheer about, if that doesn't ignite and if that doesn't give you enough to go into that game later on tonight in Turkey, then I give up and there's no hope for him. Absolutely no hope for him. That's where this fan base is at right now. We need something to cling on to. We need something to actually grab a hold of and say, I've seen something there that's giving me a little bit of life and giving me a little bit of encouragement going forward with this team. Look, if football was brilliant, there'd be no negative chat at all. But it's not. It's the worst it's been in years. So obviously, there's going to be doubts. There's obviously going to be negative comments. There's obviously going to be no one in this fan base completely convinced. Even the biggest Ten Hag inners, they're just coming out right now saying what they're saying just to wind other people up. They know that it's not working right. But they just want to give him a chance just to see. Just to see. We will see, won't we? And it starts tonight. Get the game won, and let's get ourselves into a comfortable position. And then we'll take it from there. That is the morning show, everybody. Everything updated. There is nothing else left to say. All that matters now is what happens on the pitch. And going forward, we will see if this team have got what it takes to actually turn up and do something. Thanks for the super chats, everybody. Great comments in there as well this morning. Thank you, everyone, for being involved, mods and members. I will see you all later on before the game starts. We're starting on YouTube at 7 o'clock. That will be the warm-up show, everybody. So make sure that you're there for that. And that will lead us into the big up show, which is going directly on straight after that as well. Cheers for tuning in, everybody. I will see you all later on. Have a fantastic day. Big night tonight. See you there.